All right, y'all. Welcome into the LA Sports Brotherhood. It's me, Ryan, here with my brother Matthew, and we're gonna talk about Game Five of Lakers Nuggets. They made some real adjustments. They had some key performances in Game Four, and we're really trying to identify three key things that we need to keep going or that need to happen for us to continue extending our series, extending the life of this season. Yeah. So Matt, you want to take it away? Give us the first thing.
Yeah, so our first thing is going to be one that we've actually done every single game, despite being down 3-1, is to win the first quarter and then eventually win the first half. That place is going to be rocking, and the Nuggets haven't had to come out with a big first quarter in these two home games in a row because they're up 2-0, then they're up 3-0. And, Malone, every single human being in the Nuggets organization is incredibly cocky and confident that they can beat the Lakers. Right now, I think they're gonna try to put it away. Just put this to bed. They do not want to fly back to LA before going to Minnesota. Or no, they'll be at home. Or no, yeah, they will go to Minnesota. So I expect a different Nuggets team in the first quarter than we've seen the past two games. The past two games, that wasn't it. And obviously they turned it on in the second half. Expect that performance in the first quarter with the crowd going. They're gonna run through Jokic and they're gonna be explosive. So if you hit them in the mouth, if you rebound, if you play well and you have a lead in the first quarter and even the first half, coming off of a win, that could be huge. That could cause serious doubt for the Nuggets where if they're truly playing hard and you're winning in their building in the first half, that's serious doubt in their head that we can still hang with you guys. I don't care if it's 3-1. We're not giving up. We're still in this.
Yeah, 100%. Especially because, and we talked about it, and everyone's talking about it. Anyone that watched the game or saw the graphics, if this isn't last year's series, this is like the Lakers have been in every game. The Nuggets haven't been as boisterous. Mike Malone's press conferences haven't been as cocky because he knows that they were legitimately on the precipice of losing these games, and it doesn't matter because they won. I'm not talking about like what if stuff, but they know that this team is different and the dynamic between the two teams is different. It's way more even than what a 3-1 series is. So if you come out and withstand the onslaught, think of like what I'm expecting is Denver, what we've seen in the third quarter from them, like you were saying, Matthew, that's going to be the start of the game. I'm expecting Michael Porter Jr. to hit back-to-back threes after a turnover or something, and they're going to have a timeout, and the crowd's going to be going insane. If we can withstand that, and even if we can go into the half with another lead, every single half we come into a lead, and then it'll be now six straight quarters that we've won, that would be legitimately, I think it would start to make Denver think about the series. They haven't thought about the series yet. They won the first game. If we won game two like we should have, maybe it would have been different. But they're up 3-0 right now. Yes, last game they weren't thinking about it. They were absolutely trying. I'm not saying there's some easy shit that we're doing, but it's just if they have to continually think about every shot they take needs to be stressful. And the early we get out ahead, the more it's going to be because they know if they go back to if we go back to LA, we're not losing that game. I have full confidence that, but we need to get there, and I think. I mean, obviously, it's not some great analysis to say win halves when you're trying to win a game, but I mean, it's genuinely so important to be up early and keep the same momentum going. But yeah, you want to get
Yeah.
into number two? Oh, go.
Think back to last year when we were up 3-1 on the Warriors, 3-1 on the Grizzlies. We came back home for Game 6 in our building and just blew the roof out of the place.
Yeah,
We just completely dominated them. The crowd was buzzing. That's what they're gonna want to do to us
yeah,
because they have the series. But if they lose this game, then if we would have lost those games, we're going to Game 7 on the road. If they lose this game, we're going back to LA, and a real chance to tie the series. So it's kind of like the same how we felt last year,
yeah,
and we just put it on their neck. They're gonna try to do the same, but a key thing to that, we were just better than the Warriors. We were just better than the Grizzlies. If we come out and they just can't stop AD, they can't stop LeBron, and our guards are shooting, they can't solve that. But if we're not playing well, then there goes that. If it's something where it's like they just can't stop it, it's not even like one guy gets hot like we talked in the last video. That could really, really be huge. So yeah, like win the first half.
yeah, 100%. All right, yeah. Sorry, I was trying to cut you off before. So number two, we talked about this in our last video. win the rebounding battle. This is, I mean, it's actually kind of tied into our third point. We'll focus on this. It is so important. Like it's impossible to overstate how important it is to clean up the glass. They only, or I mean, they not even only, they had 9 offensive rebounds last year or in game 4. Aaron Gordon damn near had 9 by himself in game 3. Like it's so different when you're able to end put. Excuse me. It's so different when you're able to end possessions. It's and like that's a legitimate part of defense, which is why if you look at, I'm not a Jokic defense hater. I think it's really stupid to be one, especially now, seeing that he's legitimately improved. But the reason, even before when he wasn't really great on defense and even his positioning wasn't great, like I'm talking like 2020 and before when he was still coming into the league, the reason his defensive metrics still looked good is because he is an unbelievably elite defensive rebounder. And people don't acknowledge that as a part of defense, but it's one of the most important parts, if not the most. If you never get a board, the defensive possession doesn't end. You're just always on defense. And that's why when Jokic is getting his offensive rebounds over Taurean Prince or Rui, and it's an and one. I think he had 3 straight possessions in the fourth quarter in the game 4 where he just got an and one layup, like the easiest foul he's ever had, just because you can't finish the possession. So, I mean, there's not much to be said on my end about this. It's just we need to crash the glass. Transition isn't important if we're not getting boards. Crash the glass, box out, take some pride in that.
Yeah, I mean, truthfully, a lot of it is just personnel. Like when we're running the 3 guards, Vincent, Dinwiddie, with Prince at the 4, a lot of times we are outmatched without Vando. We're a smaller team, specifically in our wings and our guards.
Yeah.
But there is a sense of like just boxing out and doing your job. A lot of it obviously is going to be on AD. He had 23 boards last game, and he's going to need a similar performance, not 23, but he's just going to need to get a lot of rebounds. But just box out Aaron Gordon is what I'll say, because last game he had, let me double check, he had 3 rebounds.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't even want to check how many he had in game 3, but just don't let him continuously crash the boards and get second position. Defensive rebound. I know we're smaller at positions. Jokic is going to probably get 15. If he gets 15, so be it. Don't let Gordon get 5 offensive rebounds that leads to 12 second-hand points just on his rebounds. We won the rebound battle last game. Just don't get destroyed, because I don't think AD probably won't replicate 23 boards. But just do your job and box out. LeBron, you cannot get caught watching. You guys got to box out, and that's all I'll say. Try to limit Gordon, because, I mean, that guy is a physical freak, and
yeah,
he's going to be playing incredibly hard. Like we touched on already, Nuggets are going to be playing hard. Box out, and that's going to tie into, like we talked about, the first half.
Yeah.
They come out hot, and then they're getting more possessions, and you can forget about the game.
Yeah, those second chance wide open threes from kickouts after Gordon gets a board, they're going in every time, and there's just backbreakers. But yeah, everything kind of rolls into each other, which makes sense because this series, it's so close that everything is pretty intertwined. You were talking, Aaron Gordon was kind of the main focus of our stop. Don't let him get offensive rebounds, like box out, finish possessions. He is also, I would say, our third biggest focus, our third point. We can't let him be Anthony Davis. Game 3, he was Anthony Davis. He had 29 and 15 and 3 blocks. He like legitimately just put up an Anthony Davis stat line. With that, it goes without saying, but I'm gonna say it. That cannot happen, like at all. Like if Aaron Gordon has like 15 points at halftime, series is over. He had 7 and 3 with 4 assists in game 4. We played 42 minutes. That's what we need. We can't have, because Michael Porter Jr. had 27 and 11. I honestly didn't even realize that he was elite. But they got 33 from Jokic, but Murray only had 22. KCP had 14, and the bench gives them nothing. Our benches are pretty much the same. So yeah, that's the biggest difference. Aaron Gordon didn't have his 20-point outburst, and instead we had our guys give 4 different 20-point performances, which is what the Nuggets get every single game. So if we can limit Aaron Gordon from being Anthony Davis, which he should never ever be, and he legitimately was in Game 3, that's truly the most important thing to me. Like Stu Lance always says, no new stars. Aaron Gordon wouldn't be a new star to us, but he would be like he would be giving star production, and that just can't happen.
Yeah, I mean, the other important thing is like when he plays at like superstar level for him, it's so much different than a guy like Porter Jr. and KCP. They can get hot, they can shoot, and that sucks.
Yeah.
It's very frustrating to watch. But Gordon is, I mean, the number one thing for me in basketball is physicality. He is a physical freak. So if you let him like get loose and have his production, that means like 8 offensive boards, more possessions,
Exactly.
dominating inside, defending LeBron. He is a more impactful player when he's at his peak than a guy like MPJ and KCP, and that's why like he's a great player. He's so rare to find. So you really can't let him going because, like you said, if he gets going, we're done. We're done because we don't have a guy as physical as him besides LeBron. But obviously, we need LeBron on the offensive end.
100%.
So it's really important to, again, everything ties together. I mean, it goes without saying, if he matches AD's production, I mean,
yeah, it's over.
We can head to Cancun already. It's over at that point. But yeah, I know you wanted to say something about the minutes. I'll let you go there.
Yeah. Okay. So those are the 3 main points. I think if we can handle that, we're in a very good spot to win. I think we can each go over like a couple seconds about things we personally want to see. I personally want to see the rotation significantly cut. Spencer Dinwiddie got 14 minutes. That's 14 minutes he doesn't need. Take all of them. Take him literally every single minute away from him. Give some to Vincent. Reeves only played 30 minutes and he was good. Unless Reeves is specifically asking out because he's tired from guarding Murray, which I hope isn't the case. I don't think it is, but at least I would understand that. Reeves needs to play 40 minutes. Ham, ironically, the game we won, I thought Ham had his worst performance, at least like process-wise, because it ended up working out, obviously. But he ran a Spencer Dinwiddie, Gabe Vincent, D'Lo, Taurean Prince, AD unit that in the third quarter, in the middle of the Nuggets run, he put that out there. And I thought that was the game. And AD was still dominant enough and on defense, and like were able to get out in the break a little bit for them to essentially maintain the lead. They didn't lose any points, which was massive. But that is unacceptable. That lineup can never see the floor again. And that happens because he's so strict with his rotations and the minutes that are played. It doesn't like he puts them into his graphic organizer, and when he says, okay, 6 minutes, D'Lo gotta come out. Okay, 3 minutes, LeBron gotta come out. He's playing like it's 2K and it's scheduled rotations. I can't have that. Play the starters big minutes. Don't make a sub unless the Nuggets make a sub and you have to react. Don't just play. Just play the starters the minutes they need. Especially if D'Lo's playing. Well, D'Lo had 41 minutes, and even then it felt like he was off the court for times he didn't need to be. Rui is the only guy that I'm comfortable leaving off because he's been horrible. So if he's horrible again, I would rather see anybody else. Maybe even try Christian Wood for 1 minute. Taurean playing 30 minutes is a little tough for me. He was good. I don't dislike Taurean, but I don't like that split. I don't know. It's just a lot of... There's no reason we should be running 9 men. Jackson Hayes only played 6 minutes, but it was 2 different shifts, so I counted as a 9-man rotation. We need to be at 6 or 7 guys. And that's it. Sorry, I went over a couple seconds of it.
Yeah, I agree. I did not like the rotations at all, especially that freaking 3 yard. Essentially, there's 4 guards because I don't consider.
No, Torian's like 6'5".
Against the Nuggets, for God's sake.
Yeah,
that was unacceptable to me. So I agree there. Other thing I'll say is we didn't really want to bring it up because you heard Bob Myers say it every single minute, and it was driving me insane that the Lakers. Well, we've been here before. They're winning the first half. Are they going to hold on to it? I mean, literally, like every minute he was saying that.
Yeah.
It was driving me nuts. But of course, the third and fourth quarters, we touched on it in the first half. If we get that first half lead, I won't say, basic, hold on to the lead, but continue to play within what works for us in that second half. So that pick and roll was working. We decided to switch hunt less, but just go to that pick and roll. It's gonna require 80, obviously 80 in LeBron, but it's gonna require D'Lo and Reeves to shoot. So if they're hot, we have that second half lead. Just bring it home with that pick and roll and do what works. Just keep going to it, and continue to find success, because they legitimately don't have an answer for it.
100%. Yeah, to continuing with that point, the Lakers have only lost one fourth quarter despite being down 3. It's the third quarters and even the end of the second quarters that have destroyed them. So if they could just maintain, even like if they lose the third quarter by 4 points, it sucks, but like they've been annihilated in the third quarter. It can't happen, because again, play fourth quarter, the scoring stagnates, but even if the Nuggets only win by like 2 points, or they tied, which they've done a couple times in the fourth, it doesn't feel the same, because they tied fourth quarter points in game 4, excuse me. It wasn't like a blowout. The Lakers didn't close out really hard. They played to the same, but they withstood the third quarter, which let them just keep the lead. So yeah, 100%. Scoring and everything always matters. Every point matters, but it really, really matters when there's runs going on. That momentum is real, no matter how much it's impossible to account for with numbers. It's incredibly real. The time hitting timely shots, something the Lakers have had a lot of trouble with the last couple of years. All of it's real and all of it's important. We'll see what they got going on. It's hard for me to say I believe in this team, but I just want them to give me a reason to keep believing. Go Lakers.